Hello and welcome back to DIY with Ashley. For today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a casserole hot pad. We'll be using the same supplies we used to make the pot holder in my last tutorial. When you finish your casserole dish, it'll be 16 inches by 12 inches, which perfectly fits a classic 9 by 13 inch casserole dish. Before we get started, let's go over the supplies. You'll need half a yard of cotton fabric, a half a yard of Pellon TP971F Fusible Thermolam Plus, fabric shears or a rotary cutter, an acrylic ruler and a self-healing cutting mat, sewing pins or clips, a corner turner or a chopstick, an iron and an ironing board, coordinating thread and a sewing machine. If you plan to quilt your casserole pad, you'll also want to use a disappearing fabric marker, and if you have a walking foot, this would be a great opportunity to use it. I've linked most of these supplies in my Amazon storefront, which you can find in the description box below. Now that we have all our supplies, it's time to cut our fabric and our fusible fleece. Cut 2 pieces of your cotton fabric 17 inches by 13 inches. Then you'll cut 2 pieces of your fusible fleece, again 17 by 13 inches. As mentioned in the supply list, I'm using the Pellon TP971F Fusible Thermolam Plus. However, you can also use the Insulbright for this project. Now that our pattern pieces are cut out, we're going to fuse our fleece to our cotton fabric. Place the textured side of the fusible fleece face up, and then place the wrong side of the cotton fabric on top. Before turning on your iron, make sure you read the manufacturer's instructions to double check the time and the heat settings. Once you have the cotton fabric nice and flat, you can go ahead and use your iron to fuse the fleece. If you have a pressing cloth, you can also use it during this step. And because we're adding fleece to both sides, we're going to repeat this step for the second piece of fabric. Then once everything is fused, let it cool down completely before attempting to move it. Now that we have our 2 sides prepared, we're going to go ahead and place the 2 pieces right sides together with the fleece facing on the outside. Line up all your edges carefully and secure them with pins or clips. These layers are thick, so take your time here and make sure you leave a 3-inch opening on one side so that we can turn the pad right side out later on. After everything is pinned or clipped into place, we're going to go ahead and take this piece to our machine and sew all the way around using a 1/2-inch seam allowance. Be sure to not sew your 3-inch opening closed. Again, we're going to use that to turn this right side out later on. Using a 1/2-inch seam allowance, sew all the way around the hot pad. Be sure to backstitch when you start and stop your stitches, and don't sew your 3-inch opening shut. If you have a walking foot, this is a great time to use it. It helps feed your layers evenly through your machine and keeps it from pulling or shifting. Due to the thickness of the pad, I had a little difficulty trying to pivot at the corners, so I just ended up sewing off of the pad and then sewing a whole new line down the other side. However, if you use a walking foot, you shouldn't have the same problem. Alright, now that we've reached our opening, I'm going to go ahead and stop sewing here and backstitch. Before we turn everything right side out, we're going to clip the corners diagonally, being careful not to cut through our stitches. Trimming the corners removes extra bulk and helps your corners turn out clean and sharp. And once your corners are trimmed, you can go ahead and turn the hot pad right side out through the opening you left for yourself. Then, using our corner turner or a chopstick, we're going to gently push out the corners. Don't force them, just apply gentle pressure. You don't want to accidentally push through your stitches. When you're done pushing out your corners, we're going to iron the entire hot pad. Fold the raw edges of the opening inward so that they line up with the seam, and then begin to press your hot pad to remove the wrinkles. Pressing the hot pad and removing the wrinkles will help it lay flat and make it easier for us to top stitch. If you're planning to quilt your casserole pad, this is the point where you would go ahead and mark your top stitch line as well as your quilting lines before you take it to the machine and sew. If you're not quilting, we're going to go ahead and top stitch a 1/4 inch away from the edge around the entire pad. Now that our pad is nice and flat, we're going to go ahead and top stitch a 1/4 inch all the way around the edge of the hot pad. This will close up the opening. Because of the thickness, you want to go slow to keep your stitching consistent. A walking foot would be helpful here too, but it's not necessary. And that's it. You've finished your casserole hot pad. It's thick, sturdy, and perfect for everyday use or gifting. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoy beginner-friendly projects, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel. Subscribing is a free way to support my channel and helps me continue to create tutorials like this one. And if you'd like to further support the channel, you can check out my coffee store, which is linked in the description box below. I also have some free goodies for my viewers over there, so be sure to check it out. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, here are some videos that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. Happy sewing!